Hi, my name is Benz. This is my Amel 50. We called her Niobe. And welcome on board.
How have you liked the boat so far?
Well, as I mentioned before, I'm a non-sailor. I've never owned any other boat. I did do extensive research until I finally narrowed down to two final candidates, which was a Garcia 52, which was like a bulletproof go anywhere vessel, and Amel 50. And on the boat show in Düsseldorf, my wife was the one that finally saw the two boats head to head, and obviously the interior, the comfort, and she decided, she gave us the final blessing and the final push to get this boat. And I think that was the correct choice. This boat is not really a sailboat as per se. This is more a world touring, safe vessel that eliminates all the unnecessary, in my view, unnecessary hazards and dangers and fears that are associated with the world traveling and sailing in general. Like, I hear all these horror stories of people out in the elements with their foul weather gear, getting wet, soaked, having to go down to the front of the mast to do stuff, going to the forward of the mast in big heavy seas. We don't do any of that.
Wind dancer, this is Vega.
Sorry.
Vega, over.
We don't do any of that, and so it's been a very soft landing into this unbelievable, incredible world of sailing around the world. What I love about it is the cockpit. I mean, we live here. We rarely go down below, just for food preparation or on passages, I mean. And at night on watches, what we basically do is we just close the bimini and we stay inside. We're completely shielded from the weather. We're shielded from the elements, and it's just part of our living space. And that's what I love about it most. I do have foul weather gear, but it's still brand new. It's still got the stickers on it. I never really used it. It allows you to take all your land comfort to sea, which would be like in a one sentence conclusion of why I love Amel.
So you're able to run everything from inside the cockpit?
Yeah, everything, absolutely everything. Except the light sails, light wind sails, that I still have a manual furling that I rig up front. But Amel already came up with an electric Code Zero and Jenica furling system, which we're gonna install. So not even that, we won't even need to go out to rig it or to furl in the light wind sails. It is true that having a hard rooftop, a completely enclosed cockpit, it does have a little bit of car truck feeling to it, and it takes a tiny little bit of the magic of breathe in the air, in the hair, and tweaking the sail and enjoying the sun kind of image that everybody has when you talk about a sailboat. But down the reality is, when you're doing thousands of miles of passage, what you don't want to do is you don't want to sit out in the sun. You don't want the wind in your hair. You don't want the rain on your head. And what you want to do is be protected, cozy, warm, have your kids running around, your wife having a nice chit chat. And well, that's the way I see the easy way of traveling and doing ocean passages. And I think it is true. This is not a racing boat. This is not a traditional sailing boat either, but for family cruising, I couldn't. I haven't seen a boat so far that would come even close to the comfort that this one, the comfort and safety that this design provides. I've been updating, upgrading, adding bits and pieces to the boat to make it to my interpretation of improvement. But basically, my basic philosophy is have two of everything. So because at sea even the best things break, so that's why I always try to double all the system on board. So I have two water makers, full size 100 liter an hour water makers. I have two means of charging the batteries. I have the engine, I have the generator, then I have the solar panels, then I have a hydro generator. I have two completely independent autopilots that at the switch of a button I can just switch one off and switch the other one on. Two plotters, two independent plotters. Well, basically that's the way and it kind of proved me right, because on the Ark we are going in 18 months around the world, and there's just not much time to go to a port and sit for 5 days waiting for parts, not most, but a lot of people in the fleet had problem with the water makers. Even I had problem with my primary unit, of course due to incorrect maintenance, but I had a second one on board. At one point we lost our dinghy because we didn't tie it correctly and the sea took the dinghy away. We found it, but we learned the lesson. Now we have two dinghies and we have two outboard engines. One is stored away in the forward locker, in the sail locker up forward, and the one that we are using. So basically, that's the philosophy that I've been implementing on all safety factors. We have two means of satellite communication, at least, two radios, two SSBs. Everything is double on board. So that's my little addition to the boat. But always from my humble opinion and from my humble interpretation of what how to make ocean passage, ocean traveling more safer. That's just my way of thinking. I know it's not, a lot of people are going to argue me, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of resources, what have you not, but that's the way I like it, and that's the way I roll. And
how'd you like the Ark so far?
So far, I think it's how do you call it? How do you call the little wheels for the children when they learn?
Training wheels.
Training wheels. Yes, it's like going around the world with training wheels. For newbie sailors like me, that I go with my family, it worked outstanding, because we are on the first big leg, which was from Panama to Australia. There was 7 kids boats. We were actually called the kids fleet, which was so amazing for the kids, so amazing for the adults, for the social, for the play, for the fun part, and it was amazing, and could not recommend it more. Of course, if you are not fan of schedules and rushed throughout the world, then you should do what other people do, which is they join for certain legs, certain complicated legs, and then they just stay and then they rejoin on the next edition. But so far, I mean, we get a lot of bad publicity when from the sailing community in general. Like we go somewhere with our big boats and and overcrowd anchorages, overcrowd marinas, and we trash all the party and trash all the, like, go to these islands. It is true, we are a big pack, but if you, I kind of like it. for my first circumnavigation. For the second one, of course, it's I can take my training wheels off. I actually know now what to do, where to go, and my big conclusion is everywhere we went so far. I mean, Pacific is, you could spend a lifetime in the Pacific and you would not finish it. You can spend a lifetime in Indonesia and you would not finish it. You could spend a lifetime in Australia just sailing around the continent, and you would not finish it. So basically, this is like a fast discovery route for me, and hopefully on my next further down my next circumnavigation, I'm going to do it on my own pace with my own agenda. That would be my conclusion about the arc.
So 2 months from now, where will you be?
In Cape Town.
2 months all the way from Lombok to Cape Town.
Crossing the Indian Ocean, yeah. About, what is it? 6,000 miles away?
Something like that.
It's kind of far.
And how long will you stay in Cocos Keeling and Christmas Island?
Just a couple of days. We're just gonna stop over, have a barbecue, and continue. We have to keep on pushing. They're saving quite a bit of time for the whole South Africa portion, because there you do have to wait for weather windows to go through Cape Good Hope, and Africa is a big place. Lots of people go do safaris inland, leave the boat, what have you not. So, which kind of is a bummer, but leaves us no time to stay here, nor any time to stay on these unbelievable islands, and just have to keep on pushing.
Well, you'll do it in your second circumnavigation.
Exactly. That's the thing. On my second round, I will know where to go, what to explore, and where to spend more time, where to spend less time.
Okay, let's look at your engine room.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. So just like any other Amel, it's an engine room / bicycle storage. But that's just my own little addition to the Amel. So this is the good thing about the engine room. I mean, this is a full-size engine room, a place you can come in and work comfortably on all your system. You've got the engine. I can practically reach any point, any part of the engine from within. I can crawl in there. There's enough space in front of the engine to I had people sitting in there in the corner changing the impeller. The generator is the same story, full access. And what else? We have the air conditioning, the water maker. Come inside. The single through hole on the vessel, that all the raw water comes in through this and distributed to the engine, the water maker, the generator, and the air conditioning systems. This is the water maker. I've got two battery chargers, a 100 amp and a 60 amp. I have a big, I have two inverters as well, 2,500 watt inverter and an 800 one inside the boat. The boat is also equipped with diesel heating, because in the Med it kind of gets cold in the winter, so I can heat the boat from the air conditioning unit running the generator, or I can heat the boat with directly from the Webasto diesel heating system. And what else? This is a neat little thing I added to my water maker since I had trouble with it. and it's a line directly out of the water maker. So even before going to the tester, I can fill up jerry cans straight in the engine room and not going through the tank in case of in case my tank is contaminated, or but I had the membranes fail before, so then the system wouldn't allow semi-good water into the tank, but then you need water. So instead of starting disconnecting tubes, I just switch this two little button. I just switch it like this, and water comes out into the engine room to be able to fill jerry cans or whatever you need. And also for testing, it's kind of nice to see what is the quality of the water that comes straight out of the water maker. And that's pretty much it.
In the room, I just noticed it got the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher is an auto fire.
Yeah, it would fire it by itself, and if it's not in a galley, I have a trigger I can pull, and it would start the CO2.
And you also have a video system inside.
Yeah, they've been. You don't really use it. I have cameras on board. It's another thing that was a mistake. I went against Amel's recommendation. They told me not to install all these cameras, but I like cameras, so I did them, and just wasted a lot of money because you never use it.
Also, another thing about having the camera, it might not be a bad idea to have a camera, but you rely on the camera rather than going into the engine room,
yeah,
and looking around.
Yeah, and
because
smelling.
Yeah, the camera isn't going to pick up the little water that's leaking someplace,
yeah,
but you might just get a little. You might not, go into your engine room as much.
Yeah.
What is this here?
This is the how do you call it? The engine is used to make hot water as well, and this is the siphoning system to circulate the water.
Okay. And then your transmission is here?
Yep.
Is that a full C drive, or if your propeller's back there, you don't have a C drive?
What's a C drive? No, like you guys, like on the
we have
Amel.
a C drive.
No. No, this is a straight shaft aft.
Yeah, I think that's probably a little better.
It's simpler. I have a problem with my problem with the shaft right now. Well, right now, in general, is that the shaft, I have a foldable prop, and the shaft would continue rotating on a slowly, but when I'm sailing, the shaft continues moving, so I have to tie the shaft physically with a little string right now. This is this is the shaft brake, like, which is kind of stupid.
Throw it in reverse.
No, it doesn't work.
Doesn't work on this one?
No, this is an automatic gearbox, and even if I put it in reverse, the shaft keeps on, slowly rotating and making the clang 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 noise. So basically, what the solution is to install a shaft brake, which is hydraulic, and but I have all the elements for it. I have to just haul out the boat and install it.
So you have to come in here to run your water maker?
No, you come in here to set it. You set the correct pressure, whether you want to run it from the 230 or the 1224 volt system. And once you're set, you can switch it on and off from the inside.
Okay.
From the little panel inside.
What is? Oh, this is your. What is this?
What is what?
This right here.
That's the big air conditioning system.
Okay.
Yeah. The boat has air conditioning. Well, you don't really run it's good to have AC, maybe to cool down the boat, or in marinas it's a big game changer.
Oh yeah, we run ours in the marina. As soon as we hook up to a marina, we're running our AC.
But at sea, you don't really do it.
Now that is really nice.
Yeah, tidy little system.
I really like that. Because you have a switch to each separate unit.
Yeah, so if you have a problem with, which also happened, I messed up the generator. And I had to work on it while the rest of the things were running. So I just switch off the generator or inlet and can work on the generator and have the rest of the things working business as usual.
So when you leave your boat for any amount of time, and you've never, I don't think you've left it for any amount of time.
Not really.
Did you ever shut this off, shut this switch off, and then open this up, and then just run fresh water into here?
Haven't done it yet.
Run everything.
Haven't done it yet. I didn't need to. I lived on the boat ever since I got it, so it's working constantly. This is the cockpit. Basically, what you have here is 2 autopilots. One is covered permanently because since I have 2, how do you call it? The 2 rudders, they're connected with a steel, with an aluminium post, and both autopilots would push against that. So it's very important never ever to switch both autopilots on, because they would break each other. That's why one of the autopilots, the one that are currently in use, is uncovered, and the one that you're not using, it's covered, just to make sure. I have 2 plotters, and this unit, this is CMAP. It has all the world maps and CMAP, and this is BNG. It has Navionics maps in it. And the good thing, what I found, is running them both at the same time with all the community edits. Sometimes the CMAP is better, and sometimes the Navionics BNG is better. And just running them both at the same time gives you that extra point of reassurance. And whenever this map is good, and you know, to get around. For example, coming in here, the Navionics map showed me no detail of this bay. It just basically said don't come in here, because just about outside there it's already shallow, whereas the sea map gave me the contour of the whole reef, and I could safely, actually I can show it to you. It's really do you have forward looking sonar? Yes, I have it here. Another thing that I don't really use, it's another reassuring thing. Look, and this is the camera system. I'm gonna switch that on as well. Okay, so all the cameras, Amel told me not to do it, but I did it anyway, and they were right. They were only told me to buy this camera, which sits on top of the mast looking aft. So when I'm in a med, especially when I'm docking, I always dock stern to. It's very useful. I have a forward looking camera that I very barely use. Then this one is a camera that looks straight aft, which shows nothing.
That's really cool though.
Yeah, you get to see it at height. I met an Amel owner. He had like 4 or 5, he was only sailing with his wife, and he had cameras everywhere, and he would use it for watch. He would have this forward looking camera looking straight forward, this backward camera looking straight back, and he would use that as well to look at night, but at night or for watches, but you don't see anything. There is no detail there. I can blow it up, but still. And this is the engine room camera, only good to see if there is like really big smoke or fire or what have you not. But this would be my screen when I dock, and when I cruise, this would be the screen. And what I was talking to you about before is look at this is CMAP. This is where we are. This is the Medana Bay, and if you go on the chart of of Navionics, the same spot. You see, it says we're sitting in. I'm sitting on ground. So this is the kind of. But this is here. When I'm arriving to Fiji, the Lao group, C-map showed me no detail, and Navionics showed me all the details, where the coral heads were, with all the community edits. So I found it really cool to have both pictures. You never know what's gonna work. And beyond that, I also have the forward-looking scanner, which is kind of reassuring to have two depth measuring devices. But it only works when you have to go like 1 knot at a time for it to be to have sensitivity. And if you go beyond that, you really have to like rev it to max to stop the boat anyway, because there's such the distance between the time it gives you the warning and the speed of the boat, that a collision is virtually inevitable.
My next video is about forward-looking sonars and navigation.
All right.
And my forward-looking sonar is made by a company in Denmark, and I'll be going 6 knots and I'm looking 80 meters in front of me.
It works?
It works.
Wow. What's the brand?
It's Echo Pilot. So I have an Echo Pilot, and I'll be running along at 6 knots. I can see 80 meters in front of me, and you know, it's showing, you know, let's say 60 meters deep. And I can see all the way out, and then if something starts coming up at me,
you can see it.
I can see it.
Wow.
And I've actually saved the boat.
Wow.
Doing that. And so I've heard people talk about the B&G system, and they say, oh, they don't work, but mine works perfectly.
Echo Pilot, never heard about it. I'm really curious to see your review. One another cool thing that I've done is I installed this little puppy, and this is a display. This is my Cummins. This is the generator control panel. And the good thing, the reason why I put it, it's not just the fact that I had it here instead of with a button down below. It's because if there's a fault, it gives me exactly what's wrong with it on the screen. I don't have to count the blinks, you know how they blink, the buttons, to know which fault code you have to go to the book, look up which code, whatever. I know what's going on with it. And I get to see the temperature and the oil pressure of the generator here. So if I want to check on the generator health, I just look at it, I can see the temperature it's running at, and it gives me kind of a peace of mind. So this is my own little thing I added. What else? Here's the bow thruster, which is a drop-down bow thruster. Engine control, the Volvo thing. This is I also added myself. Well, myself. The boat just came with this RPM meter and a very small screen, and I added this one to have instant fuel reading, so it tells you how much you're consuming at an instant, which is kind of cool.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, and it gives you the level of fuel level you have in the tank. Right now I have 650 liters. That's in my tank.
How many RPMs do you normally cruise at?
1600 is my sweet spot. At 1600 I do 6.5 knots. At 1800 I do 7.2 knots with clean haul, and then at 2000 I do 8+ knots, but I also do what, 10 about 9 liters an hour, so that's not efficient.
And 9 liters an hour at 2000 RPM, but what are you burning at 1800?
At 1800 I would be at 1800 about 5 point something liters an hour, but 1600 is the absolute sweet spot. I'm well, according to the gauge, I'm doing 3.44 liters in flat waters with the 650 tank. Coming here, we had to motor a lot because there was just no wind, and I could go close to 1,000 miles motoring slowly, but you get there just with your main tank. So that is very reassuring. And since I'm not satisfied completely with the motoring speed of the vessel, Amel has proposed me. They sold me a new prop. Right now I have max prop, I think, and I've ordered an auto prop, which I have already on board, which I'm going to install. And with the auto prop, they promised me to 7 point something knots at 1600 RPM. So I would be able to run my engine on sweet spot and doing the same speed as I would do at 1800 RPM now. We'll confirm that once I do the full
Best of luck with that.
installation, but we will see.
All right, show me how you would, if you took out your mainsail.
It's just basically pressing these two buttons. This is the furl and this is the out hole, and just two buttons up or to sail in, sail out. And then if you want to tweak it, you always want to play with the out hole.
And then
you have the this is the main, which is the easiest to operate. The staysail and the genoa, this is the furling mechanism, and for the sheet you have to put it on the electric winch aft. You rig it, and so you open the sail and you press this button and winch the sheet at the same time, so that the sail opens.
you have the two different sides, and then
this is the speed of the winch speed. I never used it on slow speed. I don't know what the hell is this button for. I can, this is a very slow, and this is the winch has two speeds, but you never use the slow speed on the winch. Actually, I had trouble because I had the slow speed on, and I was furling in the Jenniker, the whole process took me 3 times longer because I didn't realize that I was up at front. I didn't realize that the winch was going in first gear, not in second gear. So anyway,
so you have two different sides. You have the port,
starboard, and this is the main sheet winch, which would be that one over there.
This one right here?
Yeah. This is the bang on the brake, and this is the main sheet. And just basically, at the press of a button.
So this is your electric winch here, and then this is just a manual winch.
Yeah, the aft.
The secondary.
The secondaries are all manual, yeah. Let's go. And this is the aft box. Come around from here. As you can see, it's packed tight. In there I have the gas bottles, the 20 horsepower engine. I got a C-Bob, inflatable toys. That's the secondary water maker I was talking about, remember?
Yep.
That's the portable unit, the compressor unit. And you got another suitcase which is just underneath with the membranes. That's a dive compressor, which I kind of regret having because you never really use it. You always go diving with dive centers, so
that is so true.
it's ridiculous, but still, you learn as you go along. And that's pretty much it. This is and this I have another good lesson I've learned on a world tour is I carry the passerelle. You know the passerelle?
No.
It's a thing that you open, you hoist up from the mast so you can walk out. It's basically for med mooring.
Oh, so you can, a walkway.
Yeah, walkway, yeah. You don't need that on a world tour. Oh, I got this little thing. This is an Australian edition. I don't know how good it is, but basically this is it's a basic survival gear. Everything's in it. You know, got the flares, the AIS, the EPIRB, flashlight, a gun, what have you not? You know the
Flare gun.
Yeah, flare gun. And it serves dual purpose, and this is a place for the EPIRB. This is an Australian fellow that lost its boat. He was run over by a ferry, and he came up with this because sometimes, you know, you have 5 seconds to abandon ship. So if you have everything ready with the EPIRB, and you can just sit in the water and hope for rescue. Or in case you fall overboard, I also instructed my crew to throw this in. As a goodbye package. You know, you usually on boats you have water outlets, a place where you plug in and you can spray. I have a water inlet, which basically means is I take a hose from the marina, I plug it straight into the boat. There's a pressure regulator, and that is the water that's supplied to the toilets, to the showers, to the galleys, but it's isolated from my water tank, and I don't have to refill the water tank, and I can just stay there, not touch anything, and I have fresh water running all on the boat.
That's a really good idea.
Really proud of this little system. I saw it on another Amel in Italy, and I copied it straight away. Amel doesn't like installing it because, truth is, if you forget it or if it breaks somewhere along the thing, the water is not gonna stop until your boat sinks. So it's something to keep in mind. You can only have it on while you're on the vessel, and once you step off the vessel, you have to remember to turn it off as a security measure. Yeah, this is the traveler for the main, which is manual. I'm gonna play with it. I use it to have extra gas, 40 liters of diesel, and just a refueling system. That's for the water inlet, which I never use. I never put water in my tanks. Only water maker water goes into my tank. That's a lesson I learned already. Because as soon as you put water from the marina, it's usually dirty. It's got organisms living in it, and it just fouls the whole water tank, and it's just a big mess. So I never put water in. And this is my diesel inlet. That's pretty much it. Everything is automatic, everything is electric on the boat. Of course, it's a double-edged sword. Like, as long as you have electricity, everything is easy. You don't have to come to the forward out in the weather. But so far, the boat has been flawless, working without any difficulties, and we've had some heavy weather, and the old gear stood up to its reputation.
So I noticed on the front you've got a lot of stainless steel up here, and that looks, I mean, very sturdy, and I'm sure you haven't had any problems with that. The windlass, any problems with the windlass? Is it powerful enough?
No, it works fine. We had a couple of times the anchor jammed, but the windlass was capable of, with the help of driving the boat over the anchor and working with the windlass, it works fine. So far, so good.
Okay.
What else?
Anything? Do you have sails in there?
Yeah. Well, this is the sail closet. Of course, I use it for several things besides the sails. Use all the canvas, extra canvas, the kids' kites, and I got a Code Zero. I got a big Gennaker that I use for downwind sailing, and I got a spinnaker.
So what do you use more?
In light winds, I like the Gennaker a lot. It's 180 square meters, and it's a really easy sail. You set up on a furling system, so it's easy to to deploy and to put away when the weather gets bad, and it's been working fantastic. We could tweaking it a lot. You can go practically at apparent wind speed. Like I'm using it below 10 knots, below 12 knots of true wind. So in very light air, the Jenica has proven to work outstandingly. So welcome on board. This is Amel 50, hole number 6. We've been at sea with the family since January, starting in St. Lucia with the World Ark.
Elkina.
Made it all the way here.
7-2.
This is the family. My oldest Alejandro, he's 12 now. Lucia, she's... guys, you want to switch the channel on the video? On the radio? Cambia el canal. Lucia, she's 9. Gabriel, he's 6.
She's 10. I'm 10.
She's 10.
Yeah, she turned 10, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, time flies.
I am 6.5.
My youngest is 6.5, and Blanca, my wife. This is the full crew, and we've got Josie. She's over there. Say hi.
Hi.
She's been with us for the past month, helping with the kids, with the galley, with the watches, and making life just a little easier on board.
All right.
Don't look. I'm gonna show you my room after,
All right.
The bathroom.
Do you want to show the bathroom?
No, wait. This is Josie and my sister's bathroom. The toilet, the washing, and the shower.
Whose room is this?
My and my brother's room. So here we have the flags, and and my brother made this, and it's for catch the dreams. I have one, but I lost it. And this is my brother's side, and this is my side. And there is the windows up here, and we put some clothes here, and some clothes there, and some clothes there. And that's it. And then we got that covered here, and then another one here, and another one there, and another one there, and another one there, and another one there. And then
We'll show the provisions.
And then
That's where all the goodies are.
all the food. We all put our provisioning inside the bed.
So every single room is a watertight door.
Yeah, we have these things on it for a quick shut in case of emergency.
So this is my room, and this is where we keep all the crisps and chips and stuff, and some popcorn and stuff.
So have you ever had one night where you just opened it up and had some potato chips in the middle of the night?
Yeah, that'd be cool. So this is Josie's bed, and this is all my stickers and stuff. And I decorate it all the time. And this is all my friends. And that's here.
Ooh.
And this is my bed.
Who's in your bed?
Oh, that's your doll. My giant doll. I made this poster, and it's the Niobe rules. Niobe is the name of the boat, and here is all the rules that we have to do, and then we have to do all our homework, the math and language, and here's all our homework that we have to do, and here, and there, up there, and up there. So that's all the school stuff. So all these pictures are from the trip. These two are in my birthday. And this one is in my first teeth.
It's really funny.
Look, this is where we keep all our toys. So,
Lou, I think it's more interesting this part.
This is all
Explain this.
the toy storage. We all have our toys.
Oh, Monopoly.
Oh, this
is a
is
table.
actually a table, and I'm gonna put it up.
Yes, but we
You wanna put it
use
up? No.
for the passage,
Why not? We need to show it.
for the long passage, we make a big bed.
And we can
Sleep the whole night here. Because it's the best place, right?
no,
And
my
the boat is
mom's
moving
the
a
best
lot.
place.
My
My
mom.
mom's. Always in
This is my
passages,
bed.
we sleep on my
This is your
dad's
bed?
home.
No, my bed. They are sleeping every day. They are sleeping
Every
with,
passage.
but every night, one of you are sleeping with me
No,
on my bed, and the rest are sleeping here.
No, but Alejandro, when it's not his turn, he sleeps upstairs. And me, when it's not my turn, I sometimes sleep here.
Can we put up the table for
So-
showing?
This is how we put it up. TV.
One TV that we don't use.
Yeah, we do. Take TV.
Pretty nice.
But we can't keep it up because it'll fall down. Yeah. And and here.
All right, who's going to show us the back room? Okay.
Me. Okay, so this is the galley. Here we can turn on the gas, under gas, under gas. And here we turn down here. This is our thermomix, our bottles, our fruit, our coffee maker, our
Dishwasher.
dishwasher,
Okay, don't show.
and this is the microwave.
Microwave. Fridge.
Microwave, two fridges. One and two.
That's a big fridge.
Not enough for 6 people, but yes.
And this is my mom's huge and my dad's bed. And it's so comfy.
This is a very nice room.
It's the biggest room and the coolest room.
The coolest room is your room. This is not coolest.
If you hear
When the engine is working, this is really hot. Yes.
and it's
The engine
Not
is
hot.
here.
Oh, you guys got a TV in here too.
But
And
we
you
are
have-
not using it.
In
And
the
this is
bathroom.
the bathroom. I am. Yes, in the bathroom, and here is the washing machine.
Wow.
Normal washing machine. It's not for. No.
Okay.
¿Te enseñarlo?
sí, motor.
Okay, el motor no. Yes, el propeller.
You know the prop window?
Do you have in your boat?
What?
The prop window.
So it's there.
You can
No.
see.
No, we have a prop window.
We have a prop window, but you have to put on a mask and snorkel to go down and see it.
Here.
It's down below. Alright, there you go. So you can see the prop. If anything's wrong with it, if something's tangled in it, that's the kind of cool thing.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And that is where we keep all our blankets when it's winter.
Mm-hmm.
But it
This
never
is
is.
mostly spares and emergency stuff.
Winter clothes.
one of the things for world touring especially is, but that's just me because I'm a non-sailor, so I think there's not enough fuel on board. I only carry 650 liters. I know people are gonna go like, oh, that's more than enough, you shouldn't run. But the reality is I do think that 1,000 liters is where I feel comfortable. So what I did, I have 650 liters of diesel in my main tank, and I carry 400 liters of extra diesel in jerry cans. I have 600 liters of water and an extra 100 liters in jerry cans as well. So what I basically did is I transformed all these cupboards that are supposed to be using for storage for where I keep my extra fuel. I know it's not the best solution, but this is the until I learn to sail and maybe go on our own schedule, not on ARC schedule, because we are on a very, very fast schedule. We have to go around about in 18 months. There's no other option but to carry extra fuel on board to keep up with no wind conditions. This is 100 liters of water, jerry cans, and here I also, each cupboard has 100 liters of diesel. Well, this was 80, and that's the way it is.
So you carry 650 liters
of, that's my main tank, and 400 liters in jerry cans, like 1,000 liters.
And have you ever had to go to your secondary?
Actually, no. I have the SSB. I've got the 3G, 4G, and the PEP wave, and the Wi-Fi booster. And I have this watching man system, which is kind of cool. That you get on an app, you get your vessel's position, you can geofence it, you get if there's somebody on board, you get to see if the doors are shut, you get to see the voltage of the battery, and if there's water in the bilges. That's kind of cool. This is my 24 volt panel with all the lights, what have you not. These are all the instruments, satellite communication, freshwater pump. These navigation lights, freshwater level, fuel, and this is my 230 volt panel. This is the original button of the generator. So to start it, originally, you press here and it works because I had both of them fit. And then you just, you know, put on whatever you need. The charger, the dishwasher, the washing machine, water heater, dive compressor. I've got a dive compressor aft. AC, if you want to do the AC, and all the power outlets on the vessel. This is actually quite important. This button here, I also had it installed. This is the relay switch of the hydro generator. I have a Pod 600 Watt&C hydro generator, and all the people ask me, does it make noise? Does it make noise? And yes, it's very noisy. On the sail, you can hear it, so you can actually hear it work. But you have the possibility to switch it off with that switch. I had it. First, it was installed, wasn't installed correctly. Then the second guy came, and then finally a magician, I call him, what's his name? Patrick, an electrician in Tahiti, French guy. He was the final one, the one that connected everything correctly, so it works. And I have the whole thing hooked up on Bluetooth, so I'm measuring how much power it produces. And it makes the power in amps of your speed. So if you go at 8 knots, it does 8 amps. And it doesn't work below 4 or 5 knots. It's ridiculous. At night, with good speed, good wind, it keeps the batteries up. The boat on standby with the fridges and the freezers, what have you not, I use about 7 amps. Just us. So that covers it.
That's about what we use. 7 amps.
This is the water maker control panel, as I told you. Once you set it up, all I have to do is just press the button, start the generator, press the button, and water start working. And this is the Victron power management. It measures how much power is coming from the sun.
Well, thank you for showing your lovely boat.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It was fun.
If you like this video, give us a like down below and click here to subscribe. That really helps us. And if you want to watch more of us, click one of those.